2023 has been a very interesting year for me. This has been a year where I started the year off not real sure where this channel was going to go, and I think I'm kind of ending the year with the same thing. And I feel like Funko hasn't done a whole lot to give me much excitement for Funko Pops lately. And then I could go on a whole nother tangent on how exactly YouTube kind of suppresses me in the algorithm. Now, I know that when I say that out loud, there's a lot of people that are going to start hating. But without me like sharing all of the details, it probably sounds like I'm whining a little bit. So I'm going to cut that out, and I'm going to do a studio tour of where I've gotten from the beginning of the year to now. And I'm going to be honest with you, there is still a lot of work that needs to be done. Single barrel jack has always been my favorite. Probably always will be. Now, this wall right here used to have everything that's over here kind of sitting on it, and I just moved it and rearranged it, and I got all my ad icons. Simon from Canada sent me these guys. I truly appreciate you. And then I got this other really cool dude that I trade with everything on Instagram who sent me all of these guys, and then I just did a whole like music row, and I have the Deadpool flow over that won't fit on my wall, Back to the Future, because y'all know how much I love these guys. And then I just went into a whole like Marvel, so we can just kind of roll through all of the Marvel guys that I got. Then if I drop from that, I go into this horror collection, into DC, and then I still have this wall that I'm going to turn into something. So I think it's going to eventually become a podcast, or I'm going to like put more shelves over there, because I kind of have an elephant in the room that we're not talking about. Me and my daughter started a whole like candy TikTok with freeze-dried candies probably about a month ago, and this thing has been absolutely popping off. You should go check it out. I still have all of my rock stuff that's sitting on these shelves, which is really awesome. I love all the Funko albums. Y'all know how I felt about those. But I still have not painted where I had the pipe bust and it just ruined too many pops. But I still have that going on. And the windows seal here I've kind of like changed, and we got the 18-inch Iron Man on there. And then we have the Earth Day Waynes that never went out, but truly awesome. I still have those guys sitting there with the rest of my albums. And then we've reorganized all of this. So all of this is all Star Wars, super awesome Star Wars stuff that we got going on there. And then there's some bigger Star Wars stuff that I eventually got to fit into the set, and there's a lot of stuff that I have to do. But remember, I said that there's an elephant in the room that I haven't addressed yet when it comes to my studio. I have an overflowing amount of pops that still need to find a shelf, or they're going to have to find a home, or something is going to have to happen because I kind of want my studio back. And when the studio is 100% complete, I promise that I will come back and I will do a complete studio unveiling and how I utilized all of this space to utilize every wall to make videos. But in the meantime, I have some cards, some Loriconda cards that should be sitting in the mailbox at this moment that I pre-ordered from Hot Top. I believe that these are like the deck starters. And I would love for you to hang out and let's get this unpacked together. Let's go see if it's in the mailbox. Now, this channel will always have something to do with Funko, but it's going to be a little bit of a mix of everything about collections, and probably you could just call this a collection vlog. Let's get that out of the way right now. And if you're into these Loriconda cards as much as I am, you're currently collecting them like I am. Now, this is the first like deck starter that I've gotten my hands on, and I'm pretty excited about this. I've gotten my hands on about 3 booster packs so far, and I have a couple of more booster packs on the way. Super excited to get these out of the box. I would appreciate it if you hang out with me while we get these out of the box. If this is not your cup of tea and you're into Pokemon or Funko or whatever it is that I've unboxed recently that you started following me more, know that I truly appreciate you, and you should hit those notifications so that you catch those videos when they're coming up. Let's get this one out of the box. I think that you could probably tell just by the excitement in my voice how excited I am to get these out of the box. This has been something new for me. I wanted to get into these cards when I first heard them announced. There was a lot of people that said that they weren't ever going to become anything. There was a lot of other people who said exactly the opposite, but I'm excited to get my hands on these because this is going to teach me how to play the game, because I've had to date zero clue on how this game works. Now, I see that they have these kind of pogs. Just by looking at it, it reminds me a lot of Magic the Gathering. It did come with a booster pack. Inside of the pack starter, we're going to just kind of go through these together. So this is going to like give me the quick rules. I'm going to read over all of this later at some point. This is going to be, so this is some kind of a layout that's going to show me where the deck itself is supposed to go. So we have the deck, the cards in play, the ink well, and then the discard. Whatever this means, I'm going to learn how to play this game. So let's get these unpacked and see what we got. See if we got any cool cards. You know, there's a lot of people that collect maybe for the value of things, and then there's other people who collect because they want to play the game. And then there's people like me that collect kind of for the artwork. Now, it's always nice to know that the stuff that you're collecting is going up in value, but even when I know the stuff that I'm collecting is going up in value, it really doesn't mean a whole lot because I simply just don't sell the stuff that's going up. So let's see, the first one we have is going to be this Aladdin. It's going to be 2 Aladdins. Oh no. So it looks like we're going to have lots of multiples in this deck. Maybe that's kind of what you need in order to have this deck starter. Cruella de Vil, the artwork on her is fire. Look, I said this from day one. I'm going to keep saying this. Disney is going to have a really cool game because their artwork is just going to be so much more phenomenal than everybody else's. And if you're just wondering like what the deck starter is going to look like, this is going to give you the idea. So these must be some kind of these are some kind of action cards, I'm sure. It doesn't really say, but it must be some kind of action card. You can tell the rarity of the card down here with this little thing right here that my thumb's by. That gives you the rarity of the card. So a lot of these are going to be action cards. So it's really awesome. Oh, look at that. We're going to have 3 of those guys. Maybe we're going to have a Stitch in this one. I've yet to pull like a Stitch that I want. Now, this one's a pretty rare card. You can tell by the triangle right there. So that's pretty awesome that I got that one. And this one is also kind of like on the rare spectrum, but it's a different rarity than what you've seen with the circle. I'm going to learn a lot more about these cards. I absolutely promise you that I am going to figure this out. That Mad Hatter is absolutely fire. Look, the artwork you can't deny. Even if you don't like Disney, you cannot deny that the artwork that they put into these is amazing. I mean, look at that. I mean, when it comes to like cards and card games, if I was playing a card game, I want to play a card game that has artwork like that. Not so much like the shady, like, colors, almost looks like it could be abstract art. Now look at the Steamboat Mickey. I can't believe that that's not rarer than it is, but it's not. And once again, this looks like it's going to be some kind of an action card. I am going to learn how to play this game so that I have a better idea going forward as to what I am looking at and what I'm supposed to be doing with them. That Peter Pan is absolutely fire. Now you could tell that it said it was a deck starter, so you were going to have lots of multiples because this is what you're going to need to actually play the game. These things are so cool. Now, I don't know how I feel about the multiples of the certain cards yet because I don't really know like how they fit into the game. But I'm gonna learn. This Stampede is pretty awesome. Hopefully I got multiple of the Stampedes. You do. I'm gonna have to sit down and learn how to play this game. I know there's platforms where you can do this online. Oh, look at that. So we have Scar, like, oh look, that is extremely cool. Betrayal. I love that. So I have a couple of these already, which is also pretty cool. I'm still looking for that Stitch. Somewhere in this bad boy, I am going to find a Stitch card. I just simply know that I am. And if I don't, I'm going to be disappointed now for the next week that I haven't found a Stitch card somewhere in here. That one is pretty cool as well. You can also tell that it's pretty rare based on the triangle down there. We have a couple of these Dalmatians already, so this one must be a pretty significant card as well. Rapunzel must also be a pretty significant card because there's lots of them in there. Scar is fire. Look at that. That is really cool. I'm really glad that they got multiples of that in there. I'm going to have to sit down and learn how to play this deck and then try and build my own deck. I have a, look at that, I have a Stitch in there. I had been wanting a Stitch for a really long time. This one is considered a pretty rare card. I am excited to have that one in my deck. Now we also have Dragon Fire, which is also pretty awesome. We have multiple of those. He's got a sword, that's for sure. That's pretty fire as well. And then those guys. Out of all of these guys, I am the most excited with the Stitch. I've been wanting a Stitch for a while. For some reason, I haven't pulled one out of the 3 last booster packs, but I did get one out of my starter deck. I'm going to leave this deck kind of together, though, so that I can try and learn how to play like with this deck and then figure it out from there. I promise you, coming up here soon, though, I'm going to do a complete studio. Once it's completely done, I will do the whole cinematic. You know how I get down with the videos. I will do a complete studio tour, and we'll go over some of my rare pops versus some of my favorite pops versus some of my favorite cards. We will do a whole collection together. I hope that you appreciate the new stuff that you're getting from me as much as I like getting it out to you. If you're not already subscribed to this channel, this is the universe telling you that you should have already been subscribed to the channel, and you should turn on those notifications. You should make sure you've turned on all of the notifications because that's what YouTube tells me that I'm supposed to be doing. You guys need to start returning. I truly appreciate you, and I'm going to catch you on the next one. Have a good one.